Welcome to the You World Order Showcase podcast. My name is Jill Hart. I'm the founder of The Empathy Edge, and this show is built for up-and-coming life, health, and transformational coaches who are looking to share their coaching journey, grow their practice to change more lives, and be the change they want to see in the world. If you're an up-and-coming coach and would like to be featured on this podcast to talk about your coaching journey, struggles, and success stories, please visit jointheyouworldorder.com, and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications of the daily content.
Hi, and welcome to the You World Order Showcase podcast. Today we have with us Natali Ormani. Natali is the creator of the Ormani method, and she empowers women to release their inner goddess. I love that. Welcome to the show, Natali. I'm so glad you could make it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, with a few challenges, but here I'm back, and thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad that you could make it back. So tell us your story. How did you get started? Why are you doing what you're doing?
This is a good question. Yeah. So what I'm doing is so for a long time I didn't live the life I really wanted. I was depressed, and I was also rejecting myself and all these typical things. But unfortunately, most women know is that we don't like maybe our appearance. We think we are too big or whatever. Our boobs could be bigger. So this was also, my issue. Like everything could be different. So of course you are not able to live a fulfilled and happy life, right? And sometimes I had to listen to things like you have a big butt and all these things. So so this is why I rejected myself totally. So, and I didn't feel self-love, or not totally, but just a little bit, not enough, right? So, and then unfortunately my dad passed away, and this was then for me, the reason why I was awakened, why I started my healing journey, because I had to first, before my dad passed away, I was focusing on my healing so that I become more self-confident and everything. And then I think 2 weeks later this happened, and then I had also to cope my grief. So so I had to challenge to manage so many things, so many challenges. And so long story short, I hired a psychotherapist, and this lady was unfortunately very, very bad. So she was a very bad person. And she was not competent at all. So I gave her more therapy than she gave me therapy, and it escalated at the end. So I think it was the fourth session, so just at the beginning, and she wanted to cancel the therapy with me because she was upset. So she took something personally, and I said, okay, no, I want to cancel. And I said, okay, wow. So I was freaking out, and she was, wow, because she also said many, many bad things to me about my dad, so this is not okay as a psychotherapist, right? Especially when you try to trust this person, right? And so I went out, then I was in my car, and I was like, oh my God, really? What was this? It was crazy. So I was like, oh my God, why did this happen? So, and then I started to think, and I was like, wow, okay, I will take this as my advantage. So I will use it as my, to to heal myself, alone. So I won't go to a psychotherapist anymore. So this was what was on my mind. Of course, there are good psychotherapists, of course, in this world. I'm pretty sure, but my experience was bad in this case, unfortunately. So I thought, okay, now I will do everything. I will read everything. I will go to seminars. I will do everything what is possible for me. And then I started to meditate, to practice yoga, and to read a lot, spiritual books, go to seminars. Then I went to India for my yoga teacher training, and then step by step everything started. I wrote my book, My Body is My Temple. I summarized all my tips, what I did to heal myself. And yeah, then I tried to build my business, to create a coaching business, coaching program, where yoga is also included, because it's a very, very important part of my healing process. And this is what I want to share with other women, and also to activate or to heal my wounded feminine energy. So this is why my program is also called Heal Your Inner Goddess. So long story short, more or less, yeah.
I love that. And we all do have an inner goddess. And
Yeah.
it's hard often for women to just step into who they are. I just love yourself for where you're at.
Right.
I've had a lot of children in my life. I've had 5 kids.
Uh-huh.
And I don't have the body that I did when I was younger. And I had, a
Yeah.
pretty good body.
Mhm.
I was happy with it most of the time. I always thought I was fat, but in retrospect, I really wasn't. The standards were just ridiculous. But I I went for a long time thinking, God, I just have to keep losing some weight. And then I just realized when I was looking at pictures on the internet of fertility goddesses,
Yeah.
just a fertility goddess. That's all there is to it. They look kind of funny. But it makes me laugh and it makes me happy. So I can just embrace the way I am right now. It's all good. And I think if we can get to that point, and if there's somebody that can help you along the path, I think that's so important
Yeah.
because you just don't know what you don't know.
Right. Right. And you know what? I just want to share something with you. So and then when also, for example, you know a lot. I'm pretty sure you know a lot about spiritual stuff, about everything. Me too. But sometimes we need someone who tells us, who something, or who reminds us, you know. And there's a, oh yeah, true. So I mean, I know it, but I was not thinking about it. So, so we need sometimes someone who just reminds us, this is, I would say, my job. So I think most women, they know already a lot, because we are in an era where we have so many opportunities, right, to learn. And but I'm just here to remind these women, that they are great, and what they also can do, what kind of rituals or whatever, yeah.
Yes. And sometimes just having community
Yeah,
helps so much,
right.
you know.
To heal the wounded feminine, the energy, because we we should feel like we are sisters, and this is what I really missed my whole life, almost. I always wanted to have a sister or good, friends, girlfriends, but yeah. So this is what I, I was missing, and this is why I have the desire to build a huge sisterhood community, where we can be real and raw just the way we are, and support each other. Yeah. This
Is
is
that
my,
what you do with your coaching? You just have community, or do you have like one-on-one coaching? Do you do group coaching? How does all
yeah,
that look?
yeah. So right now it's a one-on-one coaching, but I also want to create a group coaching where the women can connect better with each other. Yeah, this is also on my list, and maybe membership. So this could be also maybe membership or group coaching sounds. I'm not so sure now. What will be next?
Okay.
Yes, maybe the membership, because I think, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Or what
Yeah,
would
small,
be
small.
interesting for you, just to make a research, maybe, or or what could be interesting for you, maybe just even, what do you think? Could be a membership. A
I
nice.
I think having something to help people get kind of a flavor for what you do. Everybody kind of needs different things when it comes to coaching. And this actually brings up another topic that I want to touch on, and that is, uh, do you have some thoughts about what people might um, might be thinking about when they wanted to hire you for coaching? In terms of, I know when I was looking for help, I was having some mental health issues years ago, and I was trying to find somebody to help me. And it was before coaches were really a thing.
Uh-huh.
And then I lived in a really small community, and I went to see a therapist, but I really didn't know what I wanted to, I didn't know what I wanted him to help me with. I just was like swirling.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you want to address that a little bit? Why would somebody want to come and see you, and what would they really get out of it, of working with you? Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, I hope that I'm trustworthy and that women love my energy or can resonate with my story. So this is what most women say. I love your story, or of course, this is it's my story is also a bit sad, like most stories, because
Mhm.
yeah, but we all have our wounds. We all have experienced sad things and bad things, and yeah, and this is why we have to be just real and raw. And well, this word is very hard, vulnerable. Good, right? So, and then the people, they can identify with you, and I hope they do. So this is what most women said, and that they like my energy. So and so that they feel good when I guide them during the process. And this is what I was missing. I would love to have someone, a woman who would guide me in the past, but I hadn't. So this is why.
So mainly you're working with people that have childhood wounds, they have
Correct. Correct. I mean, we all have,
trauma in their life that's not healed.
right? So we all have them, right? So and this is the point. Most people, they are not aware of it, and they think, why do I react always the way I'm reacting? For example, I'm always freaking out because whatever, my partner does this and that. And this is because our inner child is communicating with us. And the trigger is just the mirror of our wound, of our childhood wound, right? So, and this is what also my work is about inner child healing. And I work with meditation. I've also guided meditations, and yeah, so
I know you offer a inner child healing guided meditation on your website. You want to talk about that a little bit?
great. Yes. Um, so yeah, it's a free meditation that you can download, and it's on my website, also on Instagram. So I linked it everywhere, so you can you will find it everywhere. Yes. So
So
it's
what kind of things would people be experiencing that you would say, hey, you just really need to look at this guided meditation? Who are you calling out to?
um I'm working with women, but it's also for men. So absolutely, I mean it's for everybody. But I would really say it's for everybody because we all have inner child wounds, and I'm here to help, and I found my life purpose, and this is why I want to share as many information as possible, or content, or educational content. Yeah,
I
to
guess what
educate.
I'm getting at is, how would you know that you have wounds that in your life? I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but um,
You mean me? If I had wounds?
if anybody has a childhood wound, it's just like we know these
Mm-hmm.
wounds exist because we're in this coaching world. But for somebody that's not in the coaching world, what kinds of things would they be experiencing in their everyday life that you could say, hey, if you looked at the wounds that and the trauma that you dealt with as a child, you might be able to clear up this problem.
Yeah,
What would those problems be?
there are so many problems, and this is the point, right? So, for example, I was, for example, how do you call it? perfectionist. So, and this is also the problem. So when this is childhood wounds, so it's a childhood trauma response. This is why I always wanted to have everything perfect. Otherwise, oh my God, it will be a disaster when it's not perfect, you know? So, and I always had to be good in everything. I mean, I'm still ambitious, but it was a bit, you know, why? Because my dad, for example, he was not like, yeah, you're good, you do it, yeah, I believe in you, you know. He was more the opposite. So my mom was this way, but my dad was the opposite, and this was not good for me, of course, you know, as a child, right? So, and this was my wound then. And then I became a perfectionist because I wanted to do everything perfect, because then he will say, Natalie, you did it good, I'm proud of you, you know. So this is the reason, right? So why we are acting like this. And or overthinking also, this is so typical, you know. Most people overthink everything before they do something. Oh my God, what could be when I do it? I mean, or maybe yes or not, you know. So this is just, you make yourself crazy for nothing. Just do it. But most people are afraid. And you know, there's always fear. Fear is normal. Fear is just there because it's part of humanity, right? So the fear wants us to make safe. So this is why we have fear. Everybody feels fear. Even very, very, very successful people, they are afraid of doing something. This is because it's normal, right? So, and we are like, no, I don't want to feel this feeling, or no, just embrace your feelings or your emotions. And most people repress everything as well. They don't want to feel their emotions. What I wanted to say is so overthinking, and yeah, they overthink everything. Like, could this person judge me then when I do this, or what will other people think about me? For example, we make videos, we have a podcast now. Other people will think, maybe what will, you know, everybody say then when they see me now talking on this podcast. So for example, right? So this is also childhood trauma response, right? And why? Because we maybe, there are many things. Maybe you were judged as a kid, bullied at school, many things. And what you can do is analyze your belief system. What are you thinking about yourself, right? How you can do it? Journaling, write down, connect with your inner child, close your eyes, bring the awareness to your breath, just calm down, breathe, connect with your inner child, how is it? And ask your inner child, for example, why do you feel this way? Why do you feel fear? Why do you overthink everything? What is the problem? Then just stay there and wait for the answer. Something will come up. And if not, it's totally fine. It's totally
It's
fine.
amazing how it usually does show up, though.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
can just
Right.
still the constant loops that run through your head that aren't serving you. I think the most profound thing that I came across and that helped me tremendously was learning how to control what I was thinking about and recognizing that I didn't have to think about everything that popped into my head. I could choose, you know.
Yeah.
If that thing that always made me feel bad shows up to be thought about again, I can just say, I think I'll think of something else.
Yeah. Correct.
I like affirmations for that too. If you have them around, it's easy to just, as your eyes move around, you see them, and
Yeah.
it helps jog your memory to, oh, I think I'm gonna just repeat that affirmation a little bit, so that it kind of like almost erases that negative groove that you get into when you run those loops that don't serve us. And we
Correct.
all have them.
Right. And I could give a tip, maybe, when, you know, I am like this. When something is, you know, we have 1,000 affirmations, this will overwhelm me. So, and most people, you know, will react as well like this. Then just choose 1, 2, 3, or 5 favorite affirmations, you know, write them down, put them on a post or write them on a post-it, put them on the mirror, for example. Just look into the mirror and repeat these affirmations. So it's called mirror work, and it's so powerful. And this is what I can recommend. Not to overwhelm yourself, right? So with tools and writing, and not too much. Don't just don't do too much, right? So
yeah, just that little thing of writing down your affirmations, and they can be simple, like I am enough.
right.
That one alone changed so much in my life. Just
Exactly.
because as you start to run those loops that
Yeah.
are almost always around you are not enough,
Right.
you are incompetent, and you just remind yourself, no, you are. You're just fine the way you are. And it's okay to say that you're fine the way you are, however you are.
Right.
You don't need to we don't need to judge ourselves so harshly. And we are our own worst critics. We're our own worst enemies.
Yes.
We're so
Correct.
mean to ourselves.
Right. We are. Yeah. Yeah. We should just be kind to ourselves, especially to our inner child. We just should see us as a little kid in front of us, right? So this is our inner child, this little kid. And we should be good to this inner child, because this little kid deserves love, stability, safety, security, and all. Just to feel good and accepted, no? Because most
You can do it to yourself.
right, right,
You can be your own parent.
right, right. This well said, yeah. Right. And what you also could do is just to record these affirmations, because when you listen to your own voice, it's even better than to listen to another voice, right? So this could be also helpful, and to listen to this recording. Yeah, so that's also
Yeah, now that we have phones at our disposal, it's really easy to record yourself
right.
and
Just
listen back.
yeah. Oh, and this is also now a little therapy, because most people, they don't like their voices. It was me as well. And so recording and listening to myself, and it was helpful. So I accepted then myself even more, not just my appearance, also my voice. It was always a struggle. So yeah, this is also a therapy. So most people don't like their voices. It's sad, yeah, but this is helpful. This can change. Yeah.
And a lot of it is just doing it, you know, and just saying, I am enough, and believing it. And
Right.
in the beginning, you might not believe it because you have all this other programming that's gone on for a long time, where
True.
that, 4, 5, 6 year old has
Right.
stories that you tell yourself, your subconscious tells yourself, that you don't have to hang on to. And you can rewrite the stories because they don't actually even exist.
Yeah. This
The other people that were involved in that story, they don't remember it the way you do.
yeah. And you could also add at the beginning, I choose to believe that I am enough. This could be also feel a bit more acceptable for
Mhm.
the subconscious mind, right? Because our subconscious mind then said, no, this is not true. You are not enough, So
Yeah.
right? You're not, you're lying. So then just say, I choose to believe, I choose to believe that I am enough. This sounds a little bit different. So this could be also helpful for some people. Yeah.
And you get to pick. It's like
Yeah.
we all create our own realities, no matter what you believe. This
Right.
is a foundational fact.
Yeah.
How you perceive what's going on in your life creates
Mhm.
the reality that you're experiencing. And so
Yeah.
you can create any reality you want.
Yeah.
You just have to change the way you're thinking about how things are going in your life.
Right. Our thoughts are so, so powerful, right? So even when you say, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh my God, I did this so many times when I was younger. Oh my God, you're so stupid. Or I'm so stupid. Oh my God, this is so harmful when you say this to yourself every day. Oh
Words
my,
are powerful,
yes,
powerful magic.
yes,
I've
Mhm.
I, I I'll never forget one time I heard a pastor talking about his kids
Mhm.
in a he called them dumb or something in front of the whole congregation. That just like
Yeah.
you should never, ever speak words like that over your kids.
Mhm.
Ever. I don't care how bad they are.
Yeah.
You don't put those words out into the universe.
Mm.
I, oh. That was a really bad experience.
Yeah.
But it just what you say about yourself, what you think about yourself, really has an impact on who you are and how you are perceived in the world.
Right. But our parents should be our role models, right? And when they speak badly against themselves and others, of course we will do the same. So,
Mhm.
beginning, right? So when we are older and we think, oh my God, when we can reflect ourselves and everything, then we can change it, right? But of course, when we are teens or whatever, we do the same, like our parents, because they are
Mhm.
our role models, right? And it's sad,
A
but
lot of them are struggling themselves. I mean, they're
yeah.
parents. The thing about parents is when you get older and you look back, you're like, man, they're just kids still.
Yeah,
They're not that old. They
yeah.
don't have it all figured out yet. And then they're trying to raise other human beings
Mhm.
along with growing up themselves. And, you know, give your parents some slack.
Yeah,
You picked
but
them for one thing.
right, right. But we also have to keep in mind that they have their wounds as well. So what is so important, what I want to share is also to forgive. You don't have to be best friends. Maybe something bad happened, you got abused from your parents. Oh my God.
Mhm.
You don't have to stay with them when something very, really, really, really bad happened, right? So, but forgive. To have resentment and hate inside of you is is not good. You're not able to heal with hate inside of you. Re- Forgive, let go, but you will never forget, but forgive. To connect with your heart, just just feel love and compassion for others and for yourself. This is so
And try
important.
to find a way to reframe it so that it's helpful to you. You don't
Yeah.
have to go. I'm a strong believer in if a situation is not serving you, you shouldn't put yourself back in that situation. And forgiveness is often confused with excusing behavior. People
Yeah.
ask you to forgive them, and what they really mean is excuse the behavior that I'm going to continue, and I want you to continue to excuse that behavior. I'm not going to change. And and because most people don't understand that distinction, they're like, well, I forgave them, so everything's going to be okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you forgive for yourself.
Right.
But, if you're if the situation isn't going to change, and if
Mhm.
they aren't actively trying to change the way they were behaving towards you, then you should just remove yourself from their presence. And you
Mhm.
don't have to hate them, or you don't have to think about them. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference.
Yeah.
And we need to learn how to be indifferent to people and situations that are not serving our highest good. And it's okay.
Yeah. Right. We are all victims from victims. This is what I always preach and always said, forgive and then just release. You can let go then,
Mhm.
this is the most important part of our healing process, to forgive. Yes. And it's never too late. There are so many women when they are not 30 anymore, then, oh my God, I'm too old. No, it's never too late. You can do the work in at whatever age you are. It doesn't matter. With 60, with 70, with 80, doesn't matter, because it is important to heal the karma, because in our next life we will do the same and over again. The same lessons, the same learnings, because we didn't learn in this life, but we have to show the universe, okay, I'll learn from it, so I don't have to go through it again and over again. So do it for yourself.
Yeah.
To be the
And,
cycle breaker. Yeah.
and when you do it for yourself, you'll impact everybody else around you because
Yeah.
it
Right.
sends out better vibrations.
Yeah. You heal other people. Yeah. You heal your family too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of
Even
course
those
not.
who are gone, you can
Yeah.
heal them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because your memories of them change.
Yeah.
So how do people get in touch with you, Natali, if they want to work with you?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah, of course, I have my website. So it's www.nataliormani.com, or also on Instagram. I am Natali Ormani. There you can find me and just send me a message. I think the easiest way.
I will make sure we put that address in the show notes so people can get a hold of you. And they can find your inner child healing guided meditation on your website. So if
Yeah.
you're interested in healing that inner child wound through a guided meditation, strongly recommend you check that out. And so one thing you hope the audience takes away from this conversation today, Natali?
Oh, I hope a lot, but the most important part is just do the work. How I said, it doesn't matter how old you are, if you are a woman, if you are a man, whatever, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter. Just do it. Start the work, the inner work. You can also learn so much on the internet. There's so much content for free. So, or books. Oh my God, I love audiobooks. Just do it. Meditate, sit down, practice yoga, and you will see miracles will happen. So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Natali.
You too. Thanks for having me. Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
for joining us for this episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. Be sure to like the episode and let us know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was. You can support the podcast and grow your business or coaching practice by taking advantage of the tools offered in our store, which you can find at heartlifecoach.com/store. See you next time as we hear from another life, health, or transformational coach being the change they seek in the world.